What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to talk today about when exactly Scream 5 should come out, what would make the most sense marketing wise, what would make the most amount of what would make the biggest impact at the box office in terms of a release, and at the same time talk about the downfall of Scream 4 and how they need to use Scream 4 to learn from the marketing mistakes that Scream 4 had in the Weinsteins and that whole ordeal with Scream 4, and use it to their advantage in ways to improve the marketing for Scream 5. Now, we know Scream 5 is supposed to start filming later this fall in Wilmington, North Carolina. We have our directors, Matt Bettinelli, Tyler Gillett, who we know are responsible for the horror hit Ready or Not from last year, the horror comedy hit Ready or Not, which was a very, very good movie for what it was. And then on top of that, we know that officially David Arquette is going to be reprising his role as Dewey Riley. We have Kevin Williamson on board as the executive producer. He wrote the first two movies and he wrote Scream 4. He did an outline for Scream 3. He never got to actually do anything with it. And then, of course, we know that we have our writers for Scream 5. We have now found out who is going to be writing the script. It's going to be a co-team of writers who are working on this project to hopefully live up to the legacy of Wes Craven. And we know that Neve Campbell is in discussions to come back on board as Sidney Prescott, so that already tells us that they have some type of role for Sidney in the script. They possibly are reaching out to Courteney Cox, possibly reaching out to Hayden Panettiere. They're possibly reaching out to other legacy cast members who they want to get back on board to have them in this film in some capacity, one shape or another, regardless if they bring them back to life, if they have them in an hallucination, or we don't know what direction this movie is going to take. But getting into when I believe it should come out, next year is going to be the 25th anniversary of the original film's release. A lot of people want this movie to be out in time for Scream 4's anniversary in April of 2021. You can do that as well. But again, Scream 4 isn't a movie that many people remember. My honest opinion, no one remembers Scream 4 outside of Scream fans. In my honest opinion, diehard Scream fans are the only people who run around talking about Scream 4 coming out 10 years ago. Something like Scream, a movie like Scream, the original Scream, that's recognized by multiple people, even people who were not even fans of the genre, people who are not even fans of the film. That movie in itself, the original Scream, Wes Craven's original 1996 movie, that gets more recognition for an anniversary than a Scream 4 will, especially 25 years later. Scream 4 is going to be having its 25th anniversary next December. The movie came out December 21st of 2020. Not 2020. It came out December 21st of 1996. Next year is going to be the 25th anniversary of that. I believe that will put us in the week of Christmas Eve next year. So I don't think they would release it in Christmas Eve. I don't think that would be the smartest thing. They could take that ultimate risk and put it out on Christmas Eve, because I know a lot of people back when Scream came out in theaters, they thought because the movie was coming out in December that was Dimension's way of saying, oh well, hey, we're gonna dump the trash here, since this is, they didn't have, I don't think they had a lot of faith in the project. They didn't realize they had a hit on their hands, so that's why they dumped it in December at that time. Dumping it in December now on the 25th anniversary of the original Scream, using the 25th anniversary in the marketing for the release of the upcoming 5th movie, on top of the fact that you might want to have cast reunions around the time of the film possibly coming out, have them show up at conventions that go on. There's several conventions that go on throughout the year, so the cast members of Scream 5 and for the original Scream could show up at different events. We could have several different things happen. Like for one thing, in Scream 4 we have a Ghostface app that is present on everyone's iPhone. That would be very cool to see as a marketing tool once again for Scream 5. I know that was a marketing tool for Scream 4, and I believe it kind of just vanished off of the app stores once Scream 4 came out. The voice app didn't necessarily make you sound exactly like Ghostface, but you get what I'm saying. Use that to their advantage. Re-release the original trilogy, come out with a new box set, promote that. Maybe somehow if Shout Factory, Scream Factory release some collector's editions of the original movies to promote the anticipated release of Scream 5 when it comes out in theaters in December. That's some things that could be done, of course, to amp up the marketing, get people excited. Have us have, let's say, interactive things to kind of amp up the marketing a bit. When I say interactive, like possibly have Q&As on Twitter, because again, when Scream 4 came out, social media was in its infancy. Social media is up and running. It has both of its legs at full strength now. We could have several different things to use to get people excited for Scream 5 and let them know Ghostface is back. Oh, hey, there's a new Scream movie coming out. We could have live Twitter Q&As with the cast, live Twitter Q&As with the crew to answer any questions about their thoughts on participating in Scream 5, answering to tease fans on what they could expect from Scream 5, sharing their thoughts on their love for the franchise and the franchise's legacy. We could get another documentary put together of sorts. If they wanted to go all the way Spyglass Media, there's several things that could be done. It's a matter of if any of this will actually, if they will take this much action, because I feel like, honestly, with the low box office reception from Scream 4, a lot of action needs to be taken with Scream 5 coming out to amp up the marketing with the film. Because when Scream 4 came out, it had a budget of $40 million, if I'm not mistaken, but it only made like $90 or $90 million at the box office in return. A Scream movie doesn't need to have that high of a budget either. I feel like you could get away with a budget of $10 million, and that's it. $10 million budget for a film is enough, and then you can have a decent slasher film told. You could, of course, make back that money when it comes out in December. Releasing it around the time of the original film is something that would be ideal for me. A lot of people would want to see come out in October. If I'm not mistaken, if everything still goes as planned, Halloween Ends is supposed to come out in October, so I don't really want to see Halloween Ends and Scream 5 competing at the box office. I know that would be everyone's biggest wet dream, because everybody likes to fantasize about Ghostface versus Michael Myers, something that couldn't possibly happen because they've made it perfectly clear that they don't exist in each other's universe. In the original Scream, they're watching Halloween, and in Halloween H2O, they're watching Scream 2. So, and then on top of that, Ghostface isn't a person. Ghostface is just a costume. So when you're saying you want to see Michael Myers versus Ghostface, which one do you want to see him up against? You want to see him up against Billy? You want to see him up against Roman, Stu? What are we talking about here? Because if you just put him up against that costume, Michael Myers is going to win. People want to see the movie come out in October, possibly. I don't want to see that. Let Halloween Ends have its time to shine. Put Scream 5 out in a time where there's not that much competition. Of course, that might be something unavoidable, given that we don't know what exactly is going to be coming out in December 2021 just yet, as far as like overall. But of course, if Scream is there in itself in December 2021, and the whole marketing scheme is promoting the fifth film arriving on the 25th anniversary, just in time for the 25th anniversary of the original, and we have the cast and crew actively promoting it all over Instagram, Twitter, social media, Facebook. TV spots are more rampant than they were with Scream 4. People, of course, me, myself, content creators who are now always making videos about the film. There's several things that I feel would can be used as marketing tools. Not only the fact that the filmmakers, Spyglass Media themselves, could do a lot to promote Scream 5, but me as a content creator and other content creators like 3C Films, Dave McCrae, We Watched the Movie, everybody who's always talking about horror movies in the horror community on YouTube, we're going to be talking about the project a lot, of course, so that'll just draw more attention to it. That'll get people excited about it. Of course, we also have the screenings that go on, press screenings, where people and the critics see the films, and everybody's waiting to see what the first word of mouth was, and then that creates all this initial buzz and hype around the project. The next thing you know, everybody can't wait to see it. Then that leads to a big return in the profit at box office because the critics loved it. The Rotten Tomatoes score was released, and yada yada yada. And of course, we know people are going to want to go out and see it more. People who are more reluctant to see it might be more likely to see it if they have a good premiere, good first word of mouth. If they have Neve Campbell back, of course, and they have the original trio, and they have a fresh young cast that a lot of people are interested in. That's why a lot of people want to see Selena Gomez in Scream 5. If Selena Gomez is in Scream 5, I guarantee you that that's going to instantly be something that can help out with the box office. I guarantee you, you don't have to like Selena Gomez, but I guarantee you she would be a draw. She would be a draw to get people in the seats, in the theaters, to see Scream 5. People who don't even know what Scream is, or people who just grew up on Scream 4, they would return, of course, to see Selena Gomez if they're a big fan of hers. I just really hope that we get Scream 5 in December of 2021 in time for the 25th anniversary of the original film. And I hope they go full steam ahead with the marketing, posters everywhere, Q&As with the cast and crew doing nothing but promoting it on social media every chance they get, re-releasing the original films on a new box set, collector's editions, maybe even having them show up at conventions, broadcasting the trailer on a big platform in some way, shape, or form at a random time. Possibly how like Christopher Nolan just dropped the Tenet trailer on Fortnite. Draw attention to it like that. Also, just bringing back that Ghostface app that I was mentioning. Bringing back the Ghostface app. Bringing back several different things that were used for Scream 4's marketing. Mobile app games, a voice changer app, Countdown. The horror film Countdown had a literal countdown app. So, pretty sure if Countdown can return a profit, you can return a profit with Scream 5 and having nothing but a Ghostface app for a voice changer. I'm really looking forward to seeing Scream 5. I hope it comes out in December of 2021, like I made mention of in this video. I hope the marketing is very well thought out and very well executed. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. In the description, I'll have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you would like me to cover in the future. With all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.